Our lives don't matter. That's kind of the headline, I think, that I've subconsciously been looking for to allow me to think through semantics with respect to the slogan Black Lives Matter. Because a lot of people, in I think an unsophisticated way, take issue with that slogan on points of technicality, semantics, and all that sort of thing. You know, they argue that all lives matter and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, but and I think that headline I just saw now.
Continue straight on.
Just now, it helps me think through.
Use the left 2 lanes to turn left.
A good way for me to, well, be as sophisticated as I can be with respect to that slogan, other slogans. There's other slogans too, like Me Too. Now Me Too can go either way. Someone can say Me Too when they're falsely claiming Me Too.
In 2.8 kilometres, turn left onto Hoddle Street towards Clifton Hill.
Me Too. And the idea is to be a bit sophisticated, and sort of say, right, when someone says Me Too movement, don't say, that doesn't prove anything. We know what that means. It means sometimes there's a brave person or whatever comes out and says X, Y, Z happened to me. And we know the effect of that, and then a hell of a lot of other people, that encourages other people who have been in a similar situation. Like assuming that first person, that it's a true claim, and most are. We know some aren't, and it matters that some aren't, of course. There was an article not too long ago where someone who is, active in the Me Too movement said, don't worry men about false accusations. It's very, very rare. That was actually the headline. Don't worry men, something like that, about false accusations. It's rare. And I know what that woman was driving at, and this is where you've got to be a little bit sophisticated. She was saying, your worries are much smaller than the worries of people who are getting attacked, and that's a fact. We know that. I don't know what the percentages are. It's probably 95% of claims of Me Too are probably true. I'm sure there's stats on it or whatever, and 5% false claims for this reason, that reason, or the other reason. And some of those might be just through the person not being right in the head, not being malicious, but not being right in the head. So that wasn't, I know what she was driving at, that woman, but it wasn't, it didn't come out right, I thought, because even if it was, you do have to worry. You should worry about, even if it's very, very rare. Everyone should worry about everything. Everyone should worry about everything. So it was a very bad headline, that one, I think. But I know what she was driving at, so you let it slide a bit, like when I saw that headline, I was thinking, nah, like my son or whatever, worry, that about false claims. Don't even get yourself in that situation. Go back to the old ways of, back in the Greek village, wait till you're married and all that sort of stuff. I don't know what but worry. I would say to my son, worry. I wouldn't follow that advice of that woman who was in the Me Too movement, and I was sympathetic to what she was driving at, but I thought she got at it badly. All right, but back to the more general point of not needing to react so pedantically to the semantics of a slogan, whether that be Me Too, Black Lives Matter, or anything else. A slogan is not supposed to not encapsulate, but capture an exact meaning. It's supposed to get the brain thinking, you know. And the slogan Black Lives Matter, you know, the idea of that is not for that to be technically true. Not for that to be technically true. You know, Black Lives Matter. You know, it does in one way and it doesn't in another way. It's true in one way and untrue in another way. In fact, the only reason there is a Black Lives Matter movement is because too often in this world, Black lives don't matter. So you've got this situation where Black Lives Matter and Black Lives don't matter at the same time. People, you know, a lot of people, pedants, you know, and they'll say, well, that doesn't make sense, you know. Like this headline, for example, our lives don't matter. And it's an Indigenous, I think it's the mother of Dungay, you know, that Aboriginal death in custody, Indigenous death in custody. And she's making the point, our lives don't matter. And something's got to be done about that. Because they should matter. And the way that is sloganized is they do matter. So what you've got there, and this is where you have to, it depends whether you want to be dumb or smart, I think. You know, and I'm not that smart. I'm just saying I can handle this. I can handle this much. Right. So what you've got there is this woman is, no doubt, in fact I think I saw it. Look, it's it's a headline now in SBS and a few other places. Even in Northern Ireland TV, I saw it had syndicated across to there. Our lives don't matter, by which they meant Black lives don't matter. And they're making a point. But at the same time, those same people are saying Black lives matter. And what they mean by that is they should matter. And
stay in the right 3 lanes.
If you say they matter, they will matter. Self-fulfilling prophecy and all that sort of stuff. It's got to be, that's the movement. So what you've got there is a situation, and it's a question of whether you can handle this or not. And I think I can. I'm that smart at least. Here's the facts. Black lives don't matter on many levels in the world. And black lives do matter. The same black lives. So both slogans work. There was nothing wrong with that headline by that woman who I think is the mother of Dungay, or maybe an advocate for the young fella, Dungay, who died in custody. Right. The slogan in that headline was essentially, Black lives don't matter. And at the same time, Black lives do matter. So both of those things operate at the same time in a slogan sense. Black lives matter and Black lives don't matter.
In 1 kilometre, turn left onto Hoddle Street towards Clifton Hill.
And this is not even the Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter argument. You know, this is just Black Lives Matter in a bubble. Black lives matter and Black lives don't matter. All lives matter, but at the same time, Black Lives Matter. You can have both things happening at the same time, as long as you're not a kind of a painful pedant, I think. That's about all I've got to say about that. I can't press the button yet because I'm driving. It's against the law. You just got to watch this. I'm finished. I'll play some music.
Anti-Arab slogan.
I'm allowed to touch that, but I'm not allowed to touch that.
Strip got involved, firing dozens of
Yeah, listen to the news.
Israel retaliated by launching airstrikes. No injuries were
It's an American way of saying Israel. Israel. And we say Israel. And then you go to across to Al Jazeera or something and they say Israel. You know? Israel. Want to see our destruction? Say, Israel.
There's a large plaza at one of the entrances to the old
I'm going to pull over because otherwise this episode will be too long.
Gather every night during the holiday. It's decorated with lights. It's usually very festive. This year, however, Israeli police fenced off a lot of the area. They don't
hate
usually
those
do that.
accents.
And